there's so many implications behind this, but this leads me to think about not only yourself, but other guests that have theorized that a lot of what we might believe are supernatural cryptid creatures could be these chimera-like lab-created monsters. What do you think about that?
Dude, you just hit the nail on the head. The elephant in the room, so to speak, or the woolly mammoth, right? Because that's supposedly the next creature they're going to resurrect. Wow. This is huge because I remember years ago I was speaking with the founder of the Utah UFO Hunters at a conference, and we had some government employees come up to us afterwards, and they said, "Hey guys, we know what some of these things are. Maybe not all, but some of these things." And we were interested. We're like, "Okay, well, what are they?" They worked. I won't dox the company. It's based in Utah. It has locations worldwide. But they basically are involved with genetics. And you don't have to do too much digging to find out who the company is. But in Utah, it's a common name. Okay, so their front is that they advance health through genetic testing. Genetic and genomic insights to make healthcare. So on one side, it's, hey, we're just doing this for health purposes. However, they have a butt ton, they have all the permits, they have a butt ton of animals that they test. And among those animals are dogs. And these guys said that some of these animals have traits that are cryptid in nature, and sometimes they are so horrendous that they have to dispose of these animals. And on one such occasion, they loaded up, I think it was 5 or 6 of these animals into the back of a van. They drove them up to the Uinta Basin of Utah to basically drive out in the middle of nowhere and shoot these things with a shotgun, is what we were told. And these are really creepy stories because he said some of them got away. And we were like, what does that mean? Some of them got away. And he's like, yeah, they just got away. We went back to work and said we took care of it. And this guy could be making it up. I don't know, but he said some of them got away. Now, what's really strange is there's other corroborating reports and evidence, because shortly thereafter, we had reports from locals in the basin of seeing dogs that literally had tubes coming out of their bodies and were oozing different substances. Wow. So it's a really creepy deal. I don't know.
That is insane. We look at the state of where our science is going, and I have to be concerned and wonder when we should just stop, when we have crossed a line, gone too far. And to me, this is way more than crossing the line. But they had an article in 2024, genetically engineered animals are being regulated by the FDA. So as of now, we probably could be consuming these lab-created GMO chimera animals if we're not buying from organic or local sources. We could be eating these monsters.
100%. If all you need is a signature of an animal and the rest can be added from another animal, you could make anything. You could bring back the saber-toothed tiger. You could bring back the woolly mammoth, which is a huge beast. And I'm glad you mentioned this, because one of the more hideous concerns I've heard, or theories from others, is the fact, again, back to funding and who's involved. Of course, we have these people who have like a tendency for the cinematic and a flair and showman.